Good evening and welcome to Closing Arguments. I'm Michael Ayala, in tonight for a vacationing Vinnie Politan. And tonight we begin with a case that would make Agatha Christie proud. As Vinnie loves to say, trials are about getting to the truth, but when the truth is closely aligned with fiction, as in novels and articles written by the defendant herself, how does a jury decide between what is fact and what is fiction? It's a case with tons of circumstantial evidence, but when you are a mystery romance writer, a lot of what is so-called evidence could just be research. And therein lies the rub in the case of Nancy Brophy. Today was day one of the romance novel murder trial in Portland, Oregon, where 68-year-old novelist Nancy Brophy is on trial for the murder of her husband. Court TV crime and justice reporter Matt Johnson has background on the case.
The Wrong Lover, The Wrong Husband, and Hell on the Heart. These are the romance novels penned by Nancy Brophy. But did they become a script for murder? Nancy Brophy is accused of killing her husband, Dan.
We're given 4 dozen oysters to each team.
In this tribute video put together by the now-closed Oregon Culinary Institute, Dan, a chef instructor at the school, is seen helping his students. On June 2nd, 2018, students found his body covered in blood. He had been shot in the back and chest. They rendered aid, but were not successful. Nancy took to Facebook to mourn her husband's death. She wrote, "I have sad news to relate. My husband and best friend, Chef Dan Brophy, was killed. I'm struggling to make sense of everything right now." Nancy's neighbor, Susan List, reflects on her memory of the Brophies.
They kept to themselves, most of the neighborhood does, but from what we could see, it was just a normal neighbor.
The couple lived in this home less than 7 miles from downtown Portland. Susan says Nancy had a special place reserved in the house just for writing.
I didn't know she wrote so many books. I had an open house one time that we went and looked through their house and it looked very nice, and she said, "This is where I write my books," and so it looked like a really nice little nook.
According to police, they had fallen behind in their mortgage. But Dan's life insurance payments were paid, and Nancy stood to inherit more than $1 million from his insurance and workers' compensation policies. Police canvassed the area around the culinary school where Dan worked. Surveillance video revealed a minivan similar to the one Nancy drove in the same neighborhood the same morning that Dan was killed. According to court documents, when asked by investigators, Nancy Brophy stated that she was at home all morning. A search of Nancy's computer revealed more suspicious activity. Police found evidence of gun part purchases from websites eBay and ghostguns.com. Detectives also discovered an eyebrow-raising article that she had written titled, "How to Murder Your Husband." She starts the article by writing, "As a romance suspense writer, I spend a lot of time thinking about murder and consequently about police procedure." Her defense will likely argue that the article is tongue-in-cheek and not meant to be taken seriously. But the state prosecutor isn't joking. She's been charged with murder in the 2nd degree. Nancy Brophy maintains her innocence and has pled not guilty.
All right, let's bring in the think tank tonight. Joining us in Stamford, Connecticut, criminal defense attorney Darnell Crossland. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, family law attorney Jennifer Brandt. And in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Al Wunsch III. All right, everyone, thanks for being with me tonight. Truly appreciate it. I'm going to start off by asking the question that just jumped right out at me when I saw that we were going to be covering this trial. It's a mystery romance writer on trial. Obviously, someone in that sort of genre is going to be doing certain types of research. Research very important in this case. So, Darnell, let me start with you. Who does it help that she's actually a mystery and romance writer in a case of murder like this?
Well, actually, I'm not sure if it helps her at all, because it sounds like she not only had opportunity to murder someone, but she also knew how to do it. So unlike a typical housewife and husband-wife situation where someone wasn't a murderer or novel writer who knew nothing about murder, she has a lot more questions to answer than the average person.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence in this case, but it adds up. It kind of piles on itself. But you know what really jumps out at me, Jennifer, is this again, and we've seen this time and time again now, those search histories. They just get you, the things you're looking for, the things you're buying. And that's really what I think where the strength of the state's case is here against Nancy Brophy.
Yes and no, Michael. I mean, I disagree with Darnell. I think the fact that she's a mystery writer helps her, because how many people that potentially murder their spouses are mystery writers? And she could say, hey, I was doing research for one of my novels and I had to look up all these different things and I had to understand police procedure. I had to understand about guns. If I'm going to write a story that appears to be, accurate, then I need to do all the research. So I think she has a perfect out. The problem that she has is, we always run into this. If she didn't do it, who did? I know that's not her burden to prove, but that's what the jury might be thinking in this matter.
Al, once quickly, I want to get you to ring in on that. Who does it help? Is it a positive for the defense? It seems like it gives them something to work with.
Well, let's take a look at her titles, okay? The wrong husband, the wrong lover, the wrong seal, the wrong brother, okay? So, and her motto is, wrong never felt so right. So perhaps this is a good situation for her. I mean, if she was writing books that were like, I love being with my husband, but then she's looking up how to kill him, that might be more of an issue, I think, with people down the line. But the fact that every one of her stories deals with some sort of like, if this is what they say, strong women, pretty men, strong women, about families that don't always work and the joy of finding love and the difficulty of making it stay. Those are the catchphrases with regards to her books that are on the back of her books. So she talks about this kind of stuff. And let's all remember, back in 2003, certain individual by the name of Pete Townsend, okay, used a credit card to get material about child porn on the internet and was arrested for it, and then claimed, oh, I'm doing a book about my life and I was abused as a child, so I want to see what I experienced when I was a kid. So, and that worked for him. He got a slap on the wrist and went forward. So people can be looking things up. It doesn't necessarily mean it's criminal.
Yeah, absolutely. And just the appearance. I mean, you look at her, she's a little old lady. She's writing these novels. I think all that definitely works in their favor. Stand by, folks. I want to bring in Court TV crime and justice reporter Matt Johnson. He's joining us live tonight from Portland, Oregon. He was in the courtroom all day today. Matt, now we heard opening arguments today. So get us caught up on the cases that were presented by the state and the defense. And I understand we learned from opening statements that Nancy will, in fact, testify.
That is the bombshell right there, Michael. That is the big headline, the takeaway from today. Nancy Brophy, this romance novelist, she's had 4 years behind bars to write what she's going to say on the stand, and now she is going to do it. But prosecutors, they're going to question her on why her car was seen in that area the morning of the murder, why she had unusual statements to say and questions, and why she called police, including this recording. Take a listen. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
I don't want to do, but this may give you a laugh this afternoon. I don't want to be the stupid question of the day, but I think I need to be the stupid question of the day.
Okay.
My insurance company said, well, just have the detective write a letter that you're no longer a suspect. And I said, man, I just don't know that he's there. And I'm not sure that he looks at it that way. But if you do, I'd get you to write the letter. My sister, when I told her this as a lawyer, laughed so hard she fell out of the chair. So
Why?
Because
Why would you need that?
Because they don't want to pay if it turns out that I secretly went down to the school and shot my husband, because I thought, hey, going into old age without Dan after 25 years, it's really what I'm looking for, you know.
Okay. Well, we never would do something like that.
I really didn't think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's not something that we never do something like that. That's never been done. I've never heard of that being done.
I was shocked when he told me this. And the other thing he says, well, I said, so what happens if, in fact, based upon your, and this is such a stupid little policy. I can't believe they're making me jump through the hoops like this. This is only $40,000. And as my sister said, you know, usually when they do that, it's for millions. And I said, yeah, we weren't insured for millions. But the other thing is, I said, what happens if, in fact, this case never gets resolved? And they said, well, that has to go to up to the supervisors to be evaluated. And I'm thinking, great.
So did you catch that? The Portland Police Bureau detective right here in Multnomah County in Oregon kind of chuckling, saying, I haven't gotten a request like that before. And then Nancy, in that recording, says that it's only for $40,000. We know that that's not true because of all of the policies that she is accused of signing up for her husband for life insurance. And prosecutors say that this motive adds up to $1.5 million.
Yeah, it's all about that motive. And you know what was interesting? I found out a number of those insurance policies she actually sold herself, sold to herself. So I found that very interesting as well. Now, you are our eyes and ears in the courtroom, of course, Matt. So tell us who was in the gallery and how they were reacting to the statements made by both the state and defense.
Well, everyone is looking at the jury and how they are accepting some of the information, the opening statements, and I'm specifically focused on the two individuals in front of me. Karen Brophy, which is the victim, Daniel Brophy's mother. She stares over at Nancy across the courtroom anytime there is a reference of his death or guns in this particular case. And also Nathaniel Stillwater. Now, he is Daniel Brophy, the victim's son from another marriage. And I spoke with him just a few moments ago outside the courtroom. He said that he's really not doing any interviews right now until he testifies, which is expected sometime next week. He also has a civil case pending against Nancy Brophy, more on that. But he basically said that he's holding up the best that he can right now, just trying to get through this. I mean, this has been years in the making. And his dad was a pretty famous guy here in Portland, much more famous than his stepmother.
All right. And all right, Matt, then the jurors actually heard from the state's first witness today, a student at the victim's culinary school. Tell us about the state's first witness.
Kathleen Dooley. Well, she was one of the students that unfortunately arrived early that day and found one of the professors there, Dan Brophy, dead, and she called 911. I want to play part of that for you right now. Take a listen.
911. Hi, we are at Oregon Culinary Institute, and there is somebody collapsed in one of our kitchens.
Okay, just a moment. And what's the address there?
What's the address? 1701. 17 what? Southwest Madison.
1701 Southwest Madison?
No, 1717 Southwest Jefferson.
1717 Southwest Jefferson?
Yep. Yeah, yes.
Okay, and...
He's one of our chefs, and he's an older man.
All right, is he conscious right now?
No, he is not conscious.
Okay, is he breathing?
No, he is not breathing.
Okay. And is anyone doing CPR?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, someone's doing CPR right now?
Yep.
Do they need instructions?
Do you need instruction, or do you need to...
Are they doing compressions only?
She's doing compressions, and I can switch out too if you need to, because I'm CPR certified.
Okay. All right. And do you know the cause of this, or what happened? Did he just collapse?
We have no idea. Somebody just found him on the floor.
Okay.
She cried there on the stand, and she continued to cry out in the lobby here. Now, as the next witness was getting ready to take the stand, Michael, which was an instructor, also there that day of the murder, the two chatted for a little bit here in the lobby out in front of the courtroom, and they hugged and they cried. So it's a very emotional case, and this is highly emotional for everybody in this community of Portland.
Yeah, great stuff there, Matt. Truly appreciate that. And finally, I also understand that you got an opportunity today to visit the crime scene. Tell us about that.
Right, I went there yesterday as soon as I landed, boots on the ground here in Portland. I served this community for about 4 years as a morning anchor for one of the affiliates, so I knew exactly where to go. And things have changed quite a bit, but at this particular location, at this school, it went bankrupt. It's now considered a Blue Star donut. But all the doorways and entrances are the same. I noticed that there are no cameras. It's a very residential area. There are apartments above and across the street. But where the surveillance video came from that was brought up today in opening statements by the prosecution, that was just a few doors down over at a pizzeria. And then also with the mass transit, that's what's going to be introduced in this case, where prosecutors say that they can point Nancy Brophy and her car at the scene that morning, not in Beaverton, which would have been more than 20 minutes away from this location in rainy Portland.
And of course, that's what she told, or that's where she told police she was that night. So it'll be interesting to see how it all works out. Matt, thank you so much for that report. Truly appreciate it.